Every once in a while, you come across an anime series that you feel like was made just for you. Well, I just found mine, and I wanted to share it with you. It's about these anime girls that belong to the streets. No, not those streets. One street in particular. And no, it's not Sesame Street. Okay, never mind. Just cue the intro. This anime is called Young Ladies Don't Play Fighting Games, and it's actually not out yet. The trailer for this show dropped a little while ago, and I just now heard about it, so I'm bringing it to you stone cold off the press, baby! Let's talk about what we know about the show so far. The story takes place at Kuromi Girls Academy, a prestigious all-girls boarding school that expects elegance and refinement from its female attendees. Video games are definitely banned at this school because they are considered unladylike. The school idol is the pinnacle of what every young lady should aspire to be: dignified, respectable, courteous, and stoic. Except on the down low, she is a trash-talking, noob-stomping, combo-chaining, pop-offing fighting game fiend. Through a series of events, some of the girls at school eventually learn that there are other students in attendance that are big fans of fighting games, so they begin to hold late-night gaming sessions where they play against each other and practice the game to get better. Eventually, they even enter tournaments, and that's kind of where I stopped researching because I didn't want to spoil anything more for myself. So what do we know about the studio animating this show? Well, it's called Diomedéa. Okay, linguistic side note, technically, this acute accent is a diacritical mark that means it's supposed to be pronounced Diomedéa, like Zendaya, but I kind of like the idea of calling it Diomedéa. But anyways, Diomedéa Inc. has produced quite a few notable shows like Parallel World Pharmacy, Ahiru no Sora, The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent, Campion, and Domestic Girlfriend. Uh-oh. But when is the show going to be released? And the answer is 2025 sometime? They haven't set a specific date yet, so that's really all we know so far. Sometime this year if everything goes according to plan. But the idea of boarding school girls getting into fighting games is super interesting to me, and it got me thinking how young Drew got into fighting games. So buckle up for a big ol' lore drop, baby, because it's story time. When I was a kid, my parents bought me, my older sister, and my younger brother a Super Nintendo from a kid down the street who was getting rid of his. My sister had almost zero interest in video games, and my younger brother was a baby who didn't even know what video games were, so the console quickly became mine. At the start, we only had two games, Super Mario World and Street Fighter 2. It's crazy to think back on how much these two games have impacted my life. I remember thinking Street Fighter was really hard, and I preferred Mario because I felt like I could actually make progress and get through the levels. Plus, I didn't have anybody to play Street Fighter with. The game was fun, but getting stomped over and over in the campaign and not being able to finish it got really old really fast. One day, my dad's friend Paul came over to our house after church, and he saw me playing Street Fighter, and he got excited, like really excited. He asked if he could fight me, and I was ecstatic. My parents had no interest in Street Fighter, and my sister had even less interest than that. My little brother couldn't even hold a controller, so this was probably like my third time that I had ever played Street Fighter against a real human being. And there's only one thing you need to know about Paul. He's Asian. I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding. He is Asian, but what I mean is, okay, hold up, look, wait, hang on. I'm not racist, but sometimes the stereotypes are true, okay? I can't help that. What I mean to say is that Paul had what I would consider to be a 9th degree black belt in Street Fighter 2. His name might as well have been Ryu. This man was busting out moves I had never even dreamt of. He taught me that the game had special inputs that you need to perform to throw projectiles like Hadouken, Yoga Fire, and Sonic Boom. Not only that, but I learned that you can change your projectile speed by using the light, medium, or heavy inputs. Now we got into mixing up your opponent and playing mind games. I learned that every character has different moves, strengths, and weaknesses. He taught me how to zone and play footsies with your opponent, but how to also keep your guard up. After just this one session of gaming with him, I was able to make progress and was finally able to beat Street Fighter 2 on my own as well. So what's the moral of that story? If you have trouble beating a game, talk to your Asian friend. Also, game manuals are important. Don't throw them away. And if you buy your video games from a kid down the street, make sure he doesn't throw them away either. But anyways, what does any of that have to do with this anime? Well, a lot of anime shows are about special interests. Think of all the camping, cooking, fashion, music, and fishing anime that exists. Those are just a few examples, not to mention the huge assortment of sports anime that's been produced. There's even been anime focused on arcade games before, but this show takes that special interest up a notch. Let me explain. In the manga, the fighting game that they play is called Iron Senpai 4, and it's the 4th iteration of the game. Because of the number, it's the 4th one? Okay. This game does not actually exist, but it's still all operates on the same principles as real fighting games. There's frame data, there's normal and special moves, there's different characters with different strengths and weaknesses. All of this would make an adaptation very, very difficult. But why? Well, you would have to create every aspect of this game from scratch. The character models, the animations, the interface, different stage locations, and special effects. It would be a monumental amount of work. Even then, once you've designed and animated it, unless you've put a tremendous amount of effort and resources behind it, it probably isn't going to look that great. Fighting games are notoriously hard to make.
It's not that hard, Scott. Tell him, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
Hey, anything worth doing is.
Plus, you have to realize that most of the hype moments in this story, most of the turning points, the major plot points, a vast majority of the most important character interactions, they all revolve around this core element, and their success hinges on the success and execution of this fighting game. If it sucks, the rest of the story is going to suck as well. But Diomedéa isn't building their own fighting game. They took a different route. They are partnering with Capcom and are going to use Street Fighter 6 as the game that these girls play. That is a 300 IQ 5D chess big brain move. Not only are you eliminating that entire workload from your production team, you are tapping into a beloved franchise that has a tremendously active and dedicated fan base. You can tell that a lot of thought has been put into this show because they dropped the most recent trailer at EVO Japan, which is one of the biggest fighting game tournaments in the world. North America has their own EVO, but it takes place in Las Vegas from August 1st to the 3rd. I'll be curious to see if they make any further announcements about this show here in the States. This story absolutely nails the FGC, the fighting game community, both in its humorous depictions and the overall culture surrounding fighting games. People get fanatical about these games and their respective communities, and it's super fun to see that reflected in the source material. From my limited exposure, it does a great job at portraying the pros and the cons of fighting games. It's super cool seeing fighting game tech explained, but now they will have legitimacy with a real-life reference in Street Fighter 6. I think the thing I'm most excited about with this adaptation is that the pop-offs are going to be insane. I'm excited to see these get translated into animation. There are so many great moments in the manga, and to me, that just means that they've captured the spirit of fighting games, because there are so many legendary real-life moments where people just absolutely lost it after winning or losing. I hope you are as excited about this show as I am. If you want to read the manga before the show comes out, there's an affiliate link in the description, and if you make a purchase, you'll be supporting my channel, and I can't thank you enough. Oh, also, just be forewarned, this manga falls into the girls love genre.
Gay!
But hopefully it's not too bad, you know? It feels kind of weird being a grown man reading a romance story about high school girls. Japan, I'm begging you, please bruh, just focus on the fighting games. I want to be able to recommend this show to my friends, so please don't make it cringe. Anyways, thanks to the crew for making this video possible, and thank you for watching. I'm Malou, and I'll see you storytellers in the next video. Oora!